Welcome to another edition of Back 9 Report TV. This week we'll be talking about Santa Claus will soon be sliding down the chimney, there was a Tiger Woods sighting in Bahamas, and we count down the best storylines from 2016. Stay tuned for the best golf news and information on Back 9 Report TV. If you have a golf fanatic on your Christmas list, here are a few quick gift ideas. Every golfer would like to have a new rangefinder in his golf bag. Bushnell and Golf Buddy are the leading brand names to look for. They both provide the information necessary to make sure they pull the right club. Various price ranges are available from each company's line of products, and Golf Buddy is even offering a $100 rebate on certain purchases. When it comes to golf apparel, every golfer wants to look great but still feel comfortable on the course. Two brands that I particularly like are Carnoustie and Antigua. Imagine slipping into your most comfortable sweatshirt, the one you wear when you're lazing on the couch watching the big game. Carnoustie has been producing functional and high-quality golf apparel for many years. While you are clad in a cozy sweater from a Carnoustie, everyone else sees a well-dressed man wearing a quarter-zip herringbone pullover that's perfect for any social occasion. They're made of luxurious brushed cotton interlock fabric, and this classic look is available in several colors. Carnoustie has been offering the finest golf apparel for over 20 years. They always combine the finest fabrics with quality workmanship to produce elegant styling in their exceptional collection of sportswear. You can see their complete line at the website here. The last thing you want to be worrying about when you're on the golf course is your wardrobe. Antigua Golf Apparel guarantees that you will always look and feel your best when you're on the golf course. Antigua has been a leader in the sportswear business for over 36 years. They continue to use modern innovation to make golf apparel comfortable as well as stylish. Their latest efforts for 2017 combines desert dry moisture wicking technology to create a great looking shirt that will perform even under the harshest perspiration situations. Antigua outfits some of the best professionals in the game today, including our own Stacy Lewis on the LPGA Tour. When you're feeling the heat on the course, make sure you're wearing an Antigua golf shirt or jacket with desert dry moisture wicking technology to keep you cool and dry. Antigua apparel can be found at the best golf shops, or you can view their entire line at this website. Every golfer thinks new clubs will make him a scratch golfer. The truth is, clubs alone aren't the answer. A great gift for your golfaholic would be a gift certificate to a certified club fitter in your area. Many local golf clubs or shops offer TrackMan or FlightScope with trained professionals that will properly fit your golfaholic for those new clubs. With the frequency that golf balls find the woods, water, and out of bounds, golf balls always make a great gift. Titleist is the most popular brand, but they are also the most expensive. Bridgestone, Srixon, Callaway, Volvic, and Wilson are top brands, and all offer various price ranges to fit Santa's budget. Other great gift ideas are gift certificates for green fees at his favorite club, or if you're tired of listening to your golfaholic complain about the state of their golf game or lack thereof, a series of golf lessons may be just a ticket. I hope these few Christmas tips help, and you have a wonderful holiday season.
Carlos Torres and Fred Altfader bring you the best golf news and information every week on the Back 9 Report. They cover anything and everything golf, from the professional tours to the major events. They also cover parts of golf that other shows don't, and give their unique perspective and insight on current golf topics. Listen to Back 9 Report live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Blog Talk, or download it anytime on TuneIn.
There was a Tiger Woods sighting at the beginning of December in the Hero World Challenge. It became the biggest event in golf since the Ryder Cup, with the return of Tiger Woods to the golf course for the first time in over a year. I think everyone, including Tiger, was pleasantly surprised. Even though he showed signs of rust and was somewhat inconsistent, he put on a very good show and completed all 4 rounds plus a Pro-Am on Wednesday. How did Tiger do? Well, there is hope for a resurgence from Woods in 2017. He posted scores of 73, 65, 70, 76, which was much better than anyone expected to see from the former world number 1 and 14-time major champion. He did miss a ton of fairways for the week, only hitting 29 of 52. Then missing fairways was his biggest issue in the Bahamas. His iron play looked surprisingly solid. He hit 49 of 72 greens in regulation, but his distance control was acceptable, and his GIR numbers will improve with more competitive rounds played and more fairways hit. With Nike out of the golf club business, Woods returned to the Scotty Cameron putter that he used to win 13 of his 14 major titles, and he looked very comfortable on the greens. Putting was probably the best part of his game overall. To put a bottom line on Tiger's performance in the Hero World Challenge, the good news is that his length and swing speed was very good. He was consistently outdriving Patrick Reed by nearly 20 yards. Bad news, he was consistently missing left, but he can fix that. The swing that he is using now under his current coach, Chris Como, employs more arms and less body turn, which will require him to time the release better than before. When he gets too quick with his hands, he's going to pull it left. Woods looked very confident with his iron play. This has always been his strength, and he made several great recoveries. When he was in position, he hit some quality iron shots. He led the field in birdies for the week, but his inconsistency with his driver put too much pressure on his short game and resulted in too many bogeys and doubles. This will correct itself with more tournament play. He said himself after Sunday's final round that he made several silly mistakes, and he can correct those going forward. The biggest issue for Woods at the Hero World Challenge was not really about the scoring. It was about how his back and knees would respond for 4 competitive rounds of big-time golf. His caddy, Joe LaCava, said after Tiger finished for the week, there were plenty of good shots. There were good things to take away from it, and he made some putts. Honestly, my goal personally was to get him through 5 rounds. That doesn't sound like much, but he hasn't been doing much of this type of thing. The fact that he feels good after each day, I think that's great. Tiger said himself it was different to play without a golf cart. He did not get too tired or sore, and he felt confident about his health. He said, I haven't played, I need to play more. 0 tournaments in 15 months is not a lot. So this is one. I thought I made some good positive things happen this week, made a lot of birdies, also made a lot of mistakes. Those mistakes I can clean up. I know they're silly mistakes. What I saw was a ton of relief from Tiger that he made it through the week without any physical problems. It appears his back will allow him to weather the rigors of professional golf, and his game, with a few tweaks and fixes, will allow him to compete at a very high level again. Could we really see Tiger Woods chasing Jack Nicklaus's major championship record once again? Well, stay tuned for 2017. It's going to be exciting.
NWO Golf Links is published every month and delivered to your email inbox. A variety of golf writers offer their unique views on all aspects of golf. Travel, tips, information, health, exercise, equipment reviews, and much more are available in NWO Golf Links. Sign up for your free copy at nwo.back9mediagroup.com.
2016 was an exciting year in the annals of golf. The success of the Rio Olympics, disruptive rulings in major championships, a thrilling Ryder Cup, and the death of the King were just a few of the top news stories from the year. Here is our top 10 golf-related stories for 2016. Number 10, there was a huge shakeup in the golf business world. Out of the blue, Nike announced its exit from the golf equipment and ball business. The parent company of TaylorMade, Adidas, is trying to sell its golf division, and Acushnet, who owns FootJoy and Titleist, offered a stock IPO, plus golf retailers like Golfsmith filed for bankruptcy. Golfsmith has been purchased by Dick's Sporting Goods for $70 million. Titleist shares began trading slightly less than expected, but the sale of common stock still yielded a windfall of cash for the company. Since 2009, golf-related businesses have been struggling to stay in business with less golfers to buy equipment, balls, shirts, and green fees. Business consolidations and reorganizations will continue into next year. Rory McIlroy won the FedEx Cup. Rory had a nice season in 2016. He finished top 10 in both the Masters and the Open Championship, although he was never a contender in either the US Open or the PGA Championship, when his putting woes were at their very worst. He did win at home in the Irish Open on the European Tour, but was having a substandard year for the former number one. He even reneged on his commitment to represent Ireland in the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro and stayed home instead. His disappointing season turned into a very good season with the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. McIlroy had never won the $10 million FedEx Cup and announced that it was an important goal for him. He finished T31 at the Barclays, but won the next event in Boston, the Deutsche Bank Championship. He slipped to a T42 at the BMW and finished with a win at East Lake in the Tour Championship to collect the $10 million that goes along with the FedEx Cup. In all, Rory had 3 worldwide wins in 2016 and earned over $18 million in total prize money. I guess that can be categorized as a solid year and should take the sting out of not winning a major. In addition, Rory headed up to Hazeltine for the Ryder Cup, and although Patrick Reed got the best of him at the end, Rory and Reed had one of the best singles matches in Ryder Cup history. It's a good thing he won all that money because he's getting married this month, and as you know, weddings are not cheap these days. Number 8, Bernhard Langer won a record-setting 4th Charles Schwab Cup on the Champions Tour. 59-year-old Bernhard Langer just keeps rolling along. He won the Charles Schwab Cup on the Champions Tour for a record 4th time. Langer posted 4 wins, including 2 majors, and he only finished outside the top 10 on 3 occasions in 21 starts. Didn't miss a cut all year. He is a marvel to be in such great physical condition, approaching the age of 60. I would not bet against him winning a 5th Charles Schwab Cup next year. Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson put on a show at Royal Troon in the Open Championship. Stenson and Mickelson put on a show for the ages at Royal Troon in July. Both men refused to lose, and when one would gain an advantage, the other would reach new heights and dare the other to match him. Mickelson opened the tournament with a first-round 8-under par 63 and surged into the lead. He still led after the second round, but Stenson fired a 65 and closed to within 1 shot. Mickelson's third-round 70 moved him 1 shot behind Stenson, who carded a 68 to end up with a 54-hole lead. The rest of the field had fallen far behind. Bill Haas was solo third 5 shots behind Mickelson. It was a 2-man race on Sunday, and they did not disappoint. Mickelson fired a 65 and played one of the best rounds of his career, and on any other day would have won his 6th major and 2nd claret jug. Stenson simply would not be denied his first major championship title. He was 3 ahead of Mickelson at the end of the day, posting a nearly perfect 63 on a firm and fast Troon golf course. Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus' duel in the sun at Turnberry in 1977 has long been touted as the best Open championship, but the Stenson-Mickelson heavyweight bout in 2016 was its equal, if not better. Number 6, Dustin Johnson beat the rules officials to win the U.S. Open. USGA rules officials noticed a slight bobble in Dustin Johnson's golf ball on the 7th green in the final round at Oakmont Country Club, but did not notify him of a possible penalty until he was standing on the 14th tee with a tenuous 2-stroke lead. He, as well as his playing companion Lee Westwood and the attending rules official, argued that no breach of the rules had occurred, but a 1-stroke penalty was added to his score at the end of his round. Greens that approach 15 on the stimp meter and super slow motion cameras, in addition to officials viewing videotape from various angles, make these types of decisions a burden for players, fans, and the game. This was not an isolated incident in 2016. There were several violations assessed via videotape after it affected the outcome of at least one event. The USGA and the R&A recently announced a new rule that will not penalize a player for this type of slight bobble in the future. Number 5, the LPGA Tour is in a very good place right now. Total purse sizes are increasing, and the number of tournaments has increased from a low of 23 in 2009 to 35, plus the UL International Crown. It's grown in stature as a biennial international team competition, and the Solheim Cup continues to gain popularity. Even though the tour will lose the Swinging Skirts Championship in 2017, it is adding the New Zealand Women's Open and will partner with the Ladies European Tour to co-sponsor the Women's Scottish Open the week prior to the Rico Women's British Open. Lydia Ko has been dominating the LPGA Tour for the last 3 years, but in 2016, Thailand's Ariya Jutanugarn challenged Ko in every major category. Ariya finished the year with 5 wins and 16 top 10 finishes, plus she won the $1 million Race to the CME Globe. Ko had 4 wins in her 14 top 10s, both won majors, and were the first and second in the Money Race, Race to the CME Globe, and Rolex ranking. Canadian Brooke Henderson also announced her presence on tour in 2016 with a win at the KPMG Women's PGA and the Portland Cambia Classic, as well as 15 top 10 finishes to keep the pressure on the top 2. In-Ji Chun from South Korea finished number 4 on the regular season money list and added the U.S. Women's Open to her trophy case. Lexi Thompson and Brittany Lang were the only American-born women to win on the LPGA Tour in 2016. Lang's win was a big one, though. She collected $810,000 for her win at the U.S. Women's Open in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. In 35 season-long events, international players won 31 times. Will this create a problem for the LPGA Tour going forward? I think not. The LPGA Tour is stronger than ever, and several talented young American women are improving their games daily. Will soon be popping up on the LPGA Tour leaderboards. Number 4. One of the top golf stories of the year has to feature President-elect Donald Trump. The golf establishment, as well as the Republican Party, deserted him. The Democrats regaled him, plus he beat every poll and pundit to win the presidential election in November. For 10 years, when golf was struggling, Trump hosted events, twisted sponsors' arms, and brought millions to professional golf. He spent $260 million to renovate the iconic Blue Monster in Miami and helped to keep the WGC Cadillac Championship in the southern Florida area. He owns golf properties around the world, including historic Turnberry in Scotland. When his campaign rhetoric about illegal immigration sent the media into a frenzy, the ruling bodies of golf all considered moving or did move tournaments scheduled for Trump courses. By winning the election, Trump may now have the last laugh. When the PGA of America, PGA Tour, the R&A, the USGA, and the LPGA Tour are forced to come crawling back to Trump golf courses. Story number 3. On September 25th, golf lost its king. Arnold Palmer, at the age of 87, succumbed to heart issues and will be remembered as the most important figure in golf in the past 60 years. He brought the game into the colored television age with a swashbuckling style and grace. He won the affection of an army. He was the man responsible for starting the Golf Channel, which resulted in one of the most successful cable channel startups in history. In addition, his philanthropic contributions to the Arnold Palmer and Winnie Palmer medical facilities in Orlando will help generations for years to come. Number 2, Davis Love earned redemption as the Ryder Cup captain. In 2012, Love was the captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team that lost to the Europeans at Medina. Team USA completely ran off the rails at Glen Eagles in 2014 in a rout by the Europeans, which caused a flat between Phil Mickelson and team captain Tom Watson. Phil didn't like the way things were being handled by the PGA in picking a captain and developing a long-range strategy for maintaining a competitive team. He fought for the committee to advise and consult with the PGA on every aspect of the U.S. Ryder Cup team, and he got his wish. The likable and highly respected Davis Love was tapped once again to lead the U.S. Ryder Cup team out of the darkness and into the 21st century. It was difficult to disagree with any of Love's decisions leading up to the actual competition. In fact, he consulted with a wide-ranging group of advisors on every decision, and evidently, the advice was sound. On Sunday, the singles matches of Rory McIlroy versus Patrick Reed and Phil Mickelson versus Sergio Garcia were epic and gave golf fans exactly what they wanted to see. Trying to pick which was better is like comparing Marianne to Ginger. It simply can't be done. With Tiger Woods, Steve Stricker, Tom Lehman, Jim Furyk, and Bubba Watson as his assistant captains, Love's team forged out a 17-11 win over the Europeans, that brought an unprecedented 6 Ryder Cup rookies with them to Hazeltine. This was only the 3rd American win in the past 10 Ryder Cups. But for Davis Love, it was sweet redemption for the bitter loss in 2012 at Medina. Maybe, just maybe, the PGA and the players have indeed created a system that will lead to future Ryder Cup success for the Americans. Can't wait for France in 2018. The biggest story in golf in 2016 was the Rio Olympics. By far, it had to be the biggest story in golf in 2016. Golf had not been contested in the Olympics since 1904. The result was well worth the wait. Inbee Park and Justin Rose earned the gold medals for South Korea and England. Henrik Stenson and Lydia Ko both earned silver, while Shan Chan Fang from China won the bronze in the women's tournament, and Matt Kuchar, with his bronze, was the only American to medal in golf. Even though many of the big names decided to skip the games entirely using the Zika virus as an excuse, the stories of lesser-known players, views of the Gil Hanse design course, and big-name international stars fighting for a bronze medal was very compelling. We can't wait for Japan in 2020. In other stories of significance from last year, Keith Pelley continued to shake up the European Tour. Tim Fincham officially retired from the PGA Tour after 22 years at the helm. His successor, Jay Monahan, will become the new PGA Tour commissioner effective January 1, 2017. Even without Tiger Woods competing on the PGA Tour, the young guys made it golf fun to watch. Golf is much more than a big three. In addition to Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, Henrik Stenson, and plus there are 15 other prominent players that compete every week in the big events for titles and trophies. Bring on 2017. We can't wait. We want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and hope you have an enjoyable and safe holiday season. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Back Nine Report TV and hope you will check in to view future shows. Happy golfing, everyone.